All right, GameOn starts today. We are here in the morning on day one. And the Dune War for Arrakis tournament is underway. We got 4 games going. And taking up a quarter of the room over here. Got Paths of Glory about to get started. Got some Combat Commander going. Triumph and Tragedy is going to get started here. Looks like a game of Successors is going to be played. GMT version. Some first victories. Wellington versus... No, this is... Greatest Day. Utah Beach. GTS. Quite the footprint on that one. Designer of First Victories is there playing it. Terry Doherty. Got some Atlantic Chase happening. Salerno 43. Looks like the Allies have just landed. Library of Napoleonic Battles. The Battle of Vimy. 1808. Tiny map. Nice. Valley of Tears. Golan Heights underway. Victory Road's underway. You were setting this up last night.
They already started. Vibration began.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, there's the German dead pile.
And it's only going to get bigger, I assume. Ooh, Game of Thrones. With the Mother of Dragons expansion. Do you guys have a full 8? Are you playing with a full 8 players?
No, we're doing the 6-player
variant. Okay, cool.
So just so you guys know.
Nice.
I feel like you and
I so badly want to play this again. Get it to the table. One of my favorite games of all time. Got some... What is this? Andromeda's Edge. Gaming underway. Here we got a roll and write of some kind. The swap meet is packed. And we got a game of Arcs going. And then there's some stuff happening downstairs, but I haven't been down there yet. I got to get going to my game of Thunder in the Mississippi, but here's a look at everything on offer so far. And more to arrive soon. All right, here's the situation in Thunder on the Mississippi. We are just starting turn 15. So we're pretty well into the game now. And as you can see, the little corner where the Union lands here at Bruinsburg has expanded dramatically as the Union has moved east across the map through Claiborne County and into Hinds County. Confederate line is being stretched along the Big Black River as far as I can make it. And we brought on a bunch of wagon trains to keep units in supply. This is at the end of this turn. We have to evaluate Union supply, and they are obviously not in a county with a depot, so we're going to have to use our supply points on our wagon trains. They have a 10 hex range to supply the units, so we're in a pretty good spot right now. I've been protecting the wagon trains as they come up through Claiborne County with these cavalry units, these Union cavalry, just in case the garrisons here in these forts decided to try and make like a little sortie across the river. They haven't done that so far. Don't tell my opponent this, but I've got this unit here coming up this road to try and build a bridge to breach these defenses and force him to withdraw. Grant and McLaren are here, up around just to the west of Champion Hill. They've moved in. We're going to destroy some railroad stations this turn. We've cut the Southern Railroad from Jackson, which was just happened this last turn, so that's pretty good. But I was able to prevent Greg here. Greg's, what is he, a brigade? Yeah, Greg's brigade from leaving Johnston's Army of Relief and joining the Vicksburg Army of Mississippi. So that's a small win there. He has piled up tons of manpower here at these 2 crossings, so I'm going to have to go up and around, but he's not going to be able to hold all of these. There's one here, there's one here, there's one here, there's one here. So as long as I can get Crocker moving, I think I'm torn on whether I have Crocker join McPherson and Sherman to take Jackson, or whether I have him join up with Grant's forces and come up this way. We'll have to see. I had to leave A.J. Smith behind just to hold this crossing to make sure that he didn't get any ideas, but he's denuded so much of his manpower here that I'm not too concerned. He does have this force here in the rear that I'm a little concerned about, so we've got Logan hanging back. Yeah, we might have to watch that. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking at. Johnston's Army of Relief units have been coming in. He's got a big stack in Jackson. We do want to take that. That is a significant victory point consideration for the Union, but we're in pretty good control at this point of the southern half of the campaign. And we've got more units landing. Now, starting next turn, in turn 16, I will be able to amphibiously land my reinforcements, which will allow me to put a depot, if I can hold it, here in Warren County. That'll keep all units in supply, and I'm going to need to do that at some point for getting the siege started, which is what I'm working towards. Here, Le Tourneau, this looks like a pretty good landing point for the next wave, I believe. And if I can get a beachhead there, let's see, what have I got coming up? I've got a reinforcement with 3 coming up next turn. So I should be able to hold that because I don't think he's got a lot here. He's got 4. Well, he could knock me off of it. I don't want to do it too early. That's the concern, right? I could also land here in Freeland. That's a little bit further away. And it's in a swamp, so that's maybe a little bit more defensible. Because artillery and swamp, as I look at it, yeah, no effect. Artillery has no effect, but it's better for the defender in this system. So maybe it's better in Los. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm still planning out what I'm going to be doing on the future turns, but I am on a pretty good schedule in terms of what I've been trying to accomplish each turn. Grant and the Union Army are on a pretty good schedule to starting the siege of Vicksburg here in the next, let's call it 7 to 8 turns. All right, day 1, evening. Well, not evening, late afternoon, we'll call it. I just wanted to do a quick walk around. We've got the Dune War for Arrakis tournament still going. I think they're into the semifinals now, so looking like we're whittling down towards the best players of the day. Paths of Glory still happening over here. We've got a game of Triumph and Tragedy that just broke out into war in 1941. Germans and French are fighting. We got Fire in the Lake here. Looks like they're cleaning up. Yeah, that's a classic. Some successors. Greatest Day. Love the scale of that map. That's really cool. We got Twilight Struggle happening. Atlantic Chase is still going. Looks like they're learning it. We got more Library of Napoleonic Battles. Looks like they've upgraded to a bigger scenario. Espinosa de los Monteros. Looks like maybe Spanish theater. Valley of Tears is going. Apparently the Syrian player is getting his butt kicked. The front line is moved in Victory Roads.
Not very far.
Well,
sadly,
better than it was last time I saw it. They're still playing Game of Thrones over here. Is this a new game? Did you start it over? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's like the Aarons are in play this time. Cool. Nice. Got some expeditions from the World of Sight. Red Dust Rebellion, which I still haven't played and really would like to. Looks like they have Gandhi over there as well. Ark's campaign is still going. Europa Universalis. Awesome. Ooh, are they playing? Let's see. We've got an Austrian player. We've got a Turkish player. Interesting. What year are you guys starting in? 1444. Okay, so Ottomans. And yellow is Muscovy. Oh, what an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, this is one of the scenarios out of the second scenario.
Oh, second scenario book? Yeah, cool. It's a 3-player scenario?
It's a 4-player scenario, but we're playing the 3-player variant, which excludes Poland.
Oh, okay. Neat. That's why there's a giant open hole in the middle between the 3 of you.
Yeah, we're debating whether to make Poland a bot.
Okay. Nice. Love it. It's like an agricultural themed game. Tea and Trade, Fields of Arl.
Yep.
Nice. Hegemony.
How much is that going? I bought 1. So I need
And yeah, that's what's going on this afternoon. All right, back to GCACW. Well, we set a goal for getting to turn 20 at the end of the first day in Thunder on the Mississippi. And we've hit it, exactly. We are starting turn 21, excuse me. So we got through 20 turns in about a day and a little bit extra. I was feeling pretty pessimistic about what the Union had accomplished around turn 15 or so, but the last 2 or 3 turns have been quite good. So the Union here is starting to close the perimeter around Vicksburg. and forcing the Confederates to fall back. They don't have a lot of manpower. It looks like they have a lot of units here, but the Union outnumbers a lot of these Confederate stacks 2-to-1, 3-to-1. Unfortunately, he's had time to entrench, and I got kind of bogged down into a quagmire, and I had to pivot and change strategy a little bit between turns 15 and 20. My goal was to get Vicksburg surrounded by turn 20 so I could start the siege roll procedure, and that didn't quite happen. So what I had to do was bring McPherson back from Jackson, who unfortunately arrived too late to be able to capture it, and with the Johnston's Army of Relief is just piling up in here under fortifications. I had to rapidly march McPherson and his units down this railway. I ended up cutting down this way, crossing at this ford from the south, and moving up in this direction. That really forced the Confederates to pull back because they were going to be outflanked in this region. I got really lucky because McPherson's rolls for his march across the railroad, across the map, he was rolling 5s and 6s every time he rolled, so that was it was quite nice. And I've now recovered and managed to get the initiative, kind of the campaign initiative, back on track for the rest of the game. I also pivoted up here. I had Grant. You can see some of his corps here. Grant and McClernand coming in from the north, but I got ran into like a really big Confederate fortified line, and the road network in this part of the map is just really inconvenient, so I was not able to punch through. I made a couple of failed attacks that were probably really stupid, but what it did allow me to do was come up here and take north of the city, Snyder's Bluff, the fort there. I managed to make a couple of attacks and take the fort. That meant I could drop a depot into Warren County. That means all these units now for the Union are in supply, and I didn't have to worry about the wagon train situation anymore, which is getting a little bit dire. And I was able to loosen up some of these units in the south to come north. The other benefit of having McPherson come across the map is that some of his units, like MacArthur and Hall, those divisions, and that's a brigade, that had come up from this direction that I had landed here, now are in command of McPherson, so I can activate them much more efficiently than I would have if I had kept McPherson over at Jackson. Unlike the historical outcomes of this campaign, I did not take Jackson. I've got Sherman entrenching here, just on the outskirts of the city. What I would like to do, I think, is I'd like to detach some units from Sherman's division here and bring them north and start burning these railway stations. If I can get to Canton, which is up here, I can get some victory points for that. So that's probably the first order of business before he's able to rail guys out of the city along this railroad. Yeah. So that's where we're at. We are at turn 20 of 70, perhaps less than 70, depending on how it goes. Having a ton of fun with this. This is a great game. Really, really great game. Really thought-provoking, but not too mechanically heavy. So we're getting through the turns, and it's always engaging, and there's not a lot of downtime, and we're making tough decisions, and the maneuver, like we haven't had very many battles. I've won basically every battle I fought except the 2 that I launched against this fortified position, so I'm doing pretty good when it comes to manpower differences. He's lost 14 manpower, and I've lost 6, so that's a net of 8 points in my favor, which is going to really count. I'm trying not to throw away the manpower, but I've been rolling really hot in the battles, and as we're about to start this turn, I'm going to try and eliminate this fortified position here. There's not a lot of units under it, and if I can bring McPherson back, or maybe even bring Hall up with his 3, I can get a huge flanking bonus on him. So yeah, that's where we stand with Thunder on the Mississippi after day 1, and yeah, it's a great game. It's fantastic. If you haven't played Great Campaigns of the American Civil War, this is a really good example of what the system is great, what's great about the system.